Hello everyone, my name is Cameron and welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing the Survivor Series 2018 predictions. Now before I get into this, I do want to specify, at time of recording, I still have yet to watch NXT TakeOver War Games. I'm going to try to watch it before I go to work, do the review up on my laptop, get it all typed up and stuff, so that way everything is done, and then I will give you guys the full review when I get home from work. If I do not get the chance to watch it before I go to work, then I will be finishing it up on, or I'll be watching it when I get home from work and then watching Survivor Series right after. The review videos will both be coming out probably tomorrow. If I get the chance to watch NXT TakeOver War Games 2 before I go to work, however, the review will most likely be coming out tonight, probably right off the midst of Survivor Series, and then Survivor Series will be coming out tomorrow for its review. Also, before we get into this, I do want to say, holy shit, fucking finally the Cruiserweights are not being booked on the goddamn pre-show. Now, yes, I do believe the Cruiserweight Championship match was not on the, there wasn't a pre-show for Super Showdown, so yes, it was on the main show, but I mean of a big main card pay-per-view, the Cruiserweight Championship typically gets relegated to the pre-show, but instead this time they're going with the 10-on-10 5 tag team versus 5 tag team giant Survivor Series elimination match. Why that's the match that they're deciding to put on the pre-show, I have no idea. But at least the Cruiserweight Championship is being defended on the main roster. I also just on the main card. I also just realized I have yet to actually do my predictions, so give me 1 minute. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I completely fucking forgot that I hadn't done them at the time. Alright, so the first match we're going to predict is going to be the 10-on-10 tag team elimination match. On the SmackDown side of things, we have the Usos, the New Day, the Colognes, Sanity, and Gallows and Anderson. Whereas on the Raw side, we have the Captains, Bobby Roode, and Chad Gable, the Revival, the B-Team, the Ascension, and Lucha House Party. I'm going to go for Team SmackDown, mostly because on Team Raw, and I'm not trying to be a dick to the teams that are on Team Raw, but it's like, you see the Revival, who are a very, like, old-styled tag team. They believe in tag team wrestling. I'm a huge fan of tag team wrestling, for those of you who haven't been on this channel long enough. They believe in, like, good, old-fashioned tag team wrestling, and they're on a team with a bunch of people who are kind of jokes. You know, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, obviously not exactly the most serious tag team. The B-Team, the Lucha House Party, and the Ascension, definitely not really... Well, not really the Ascension. The Ascension is also a team that really heavily believes in tag team maneuvers and using the two-person advantage, whereas Lucha House Party, the B-Team, and Gable and Roode are kind of just joke teams, and I think that while SmackDown will probably take a hit in the Colognes, the rest of their team shapes out. Sanity is a very good tag team, the New Day is a very good tag team, the Usos are a very good tag team, and Gallows and Anderson are also very good tag teams. They're all very good tag teams on their side, except for really the Clones. That's kind of their lacking point. So whereas Raw has one good shining star of a tag team, SmackDown has one bad tag team. So I think that it's going to kind of balance out into a point where probably the Revival will be the final team for Team Raw, with probably a majority of Team SmackDown still left. Next, we have the Cruiserweight Championship match. Again, like I always do, I'm going to try to do these in the order I think WWE is probably going to book the show. Buddy Murphy, the champion, versus Mustafa Ali, the challenger. Now, months and months and months ago, back in March, April-ish, when WrestleMania 34 hit, right? Yeah, 34. Mustafa Ali for the Cruiserweight Championship was actually what ended up losing me the show and why I took 10 chops. I'm going for Buddy Murphy this time. If I'm wrong and Mustafa Ali finally gets championship, so be it. I love Mustafa Ali. It'd be fantastic to have him win. But I don't think they're going to take the belt off Murphy anytime soon. He's been booked very dominantly since he got the championship. Hell, even before he got the championship. And I think that he's going to retain it here. I think he's at least going to probably retain it until maybe Mania. My cats are fucking around upstairs. Next, we have the Tag Team Champions of Raw versus the Tag Team Champions of SmackDown. The Authors of Pain with Drake Maverick versus The Bar with The Big Show. I am going with the Authors of Pain. This was actually kind of a tough one for me to decide on. I've actually been flip-flopping on this for about a week before I finally just made my final prediction of AOP. And the big reason is that I feel like the Big Show and Drake are both going to kind of get involved in, like, who do I think could cause more damage? I'm like, oh, Big Show could probably cause more damage, but it's not like he's going against a small team like it was with the New Day. He's going against a very big, powerful team. And I think, while yes, he is a big force outside the ring and he could definitely cause a massive distraction, I don't think he's going to, because I think it's just, you know, it's a situation of AOP is a big team and they're smart and all that. So yeah, Authors of Pain. Next, we have the women's 5-on-5 elimination tag team match. Carmella, Naomi, Mystery Person, Sonya Deville, and Asuka for Team SmackDown versus Mickie James, Nia Jax, Tamina, Natalya, and Ruby Riott. I've also gone with Team SmackDown on this one. The first two elimination matches out of the show, and I've gone with Team SmackDown for both of them. The reason I'm going Team SmackDown on this one is because nobody really likes each other on Team Raw except for Nia and Tamina. Mickie doesn't really have any, I mean, I don't think she hates anybody on this match, but it kind of seems like everyone kind of doesn't like Natalya, and I feel bad for Natalya being stuck on that team. I definitely think that there's going to be some good matches in this. If the rumors are true that Nia has some backstage heat, she may be one of the first eliminated, to be honest. And taking out the bigger threats, Nia and Tamina, I think would be kind of a big thing for them. Also, I just don't think they're going to give Team Raw the win in this one. Last year, they gave Team Raw the win on this match because Asuka was still undefeated and she was on the team. I don't think they're going to do it this year because there's not really any big reason for Raw to win this. It'd be bigger for SmackDown to be the ones winning this. And yeah, honestly, I just don't think they could give Nia a win. Because even if she does get eliminated, her team wins, she wins. And I think they're probably going to end up getting her championship match kind of turning into a squash match, which is what she deserves. Because this is like the 9th person she's injured this year. I'm not joking about this either. I'm not trying to throw a bunch of hate at Nia. I mean, she did take away the match that I was most excited for on this pay-per-view. But when you've injured a bunch of your coworkers in the same year, and you've almost killed you've almost killed two. She almost killed two people in the ring because of her bad performance. You definitely shouldn't be going for a championship. You shouldn't be holding a championship. You probably shouldn't even be on the goddamn main roster. And also the response that she did to Becky's face, showing her fist, saying, "Oh, no one's gonna ask how my fist feels." It's because no one fucking cares. You fucking cheap shotted your fucking coworker. Like, I don't care who you are. You don't do that. Even if the rumors about Becky accidentally hitting Nia for real are true, going like this and fucking cold cocking someone with your, just straight up fucking punching them with the intention to hurt them is negligent. And it's something that should not be existing in this business. I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I know everyone says, oh, it's not ballet, but it's like, still, this is something that she's done constantly over the past few years. And it's like, why is she still on the main roster? She should be in developmental, but whatever. I'm getting off on a tangent. Next, we have the Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins versus the United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. My prediction is Seth Rollins. Now, I do like Shinsuke Nakamura. I do also like Seth Rollins. But I think that they're probably going to go with Shinsuke to lose on this. And it's not saying that they're hating on Shinsuke or that in any way he's being punished for anything. It's just, again, they always try to show Raw as the dominant brand. Now, again, Rollins is a guy who does not hate... Actually, you know what? I'm changing this. I just realized I'm an idiot. I was going into this thinking Nakamura was going to win this. And I just changed my thing thinking something different. No. I think Nakamura is going to win. Why am I saying Rollins? Oh, man. Saying Rollins... I just say Rollins a lot. Okay, I'll just put it that way. I think Nakamura is going to win this one. See, I'm flip-flopping again. But I think Nakamura is going to win this one for the sole reason of Dean Ambrose. Now, this was actually kind of the running prediction / theory for this match right now, is that Dean Ambrose is going to run in and he's going to cost Seth the match. I definitely think that that's a big possibility. I don't like the whole feud stopping for the brand supremacy bullshit of Survivor Series. It's like, no, these people hate each other. They should not be on the same team because they're going to be a volatile force. Now, obviously, it does lead to some fantastic things, like a team fighting amongst themselves during a match. And I definitely think that if Dean comes out to either distract or attack Seth and cost him the match, it's the best way to go about it. Because one, it shows that your brand doesn't matter more than your feud. Because I hate that fact. Like, look at the Raw women's team. Natalia and Ruby Riott on a team 2 weeks after Ruby broke Natalia's dad's glasses. Obviously, they're not actually Jim Neidhart's glasses, but you get my point. So I just don't think that... I don't think Dean's going to go for that. Also, you could kind of look into it as during the original brand split that happened in 2016, Dean was a SmackDown guy. And he fought on Team SmackDown in 2016. And you could see that maybe his loyalties still lie there. And I would not hate that. That'd be kind of a cool thing. But yeah, I think Nakamura is going to win this one. It's going to be kind of cool. I've really loved what they've been doing with Nakamura and the United States Championship. I just love Shinsuke. Shinsuke is awesome. But the United States of Knock America thing is just awesome, and I think it's playing into it really well. Next, we have the WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. Actually, no. We have the Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. You guys already know exactly why I'm pissed about this match. Let's just get into it. I think Ronda is going to win this. I think, had it been Becky versus Ronda still, like it was supposed to be, I think maybe Becky could have been the person to dethrone Ronda and to beat Ronda. Honestly, I'm saying this after what happened at WrestleMania with Charlotte dethroned Asuka's undefeated streak and destroyed it, which could very well happen again here tonight. But I think they're probably going to be waiting to kind of get rid of Ronda's undefeated streak just a little bit longer. Also, the running thing is that Becky versus Ronda is happening at Mania now. And if that's the case, whether it's one-on-one or a 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match, either way, I think that's probably the best time to get rid of Ronda's undefeated streak. I really want her to lose the championship, but I don't think she's going to. But I'd rather have her kind of keep the undefeated streak if it means not losing it to Charlotte. Obviously, she's probably not going to lose the championship until at least Mania. And I think having a 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match or an interbrand match with Becky versus Ronda would probably be the best time for her to lose it. First off, the feud with Ronda and Becky has been amazing, especially from Becky's perspective, because honestly, let's be honest, Ronda isn't the best on promos, but Becky has been doing fantastic. And I think that we could definitely see some really good stuff if the Becky-Ronda feud continues. If Charlotte happens to lose or happens to win, it'd be kind of a cool thing of Becky kind of saying, you can't even beat the man's former best friend or some sort of shit like that. I really can't wait. I really want Mania to be here. I really want Becky Lynch to be cleared for Survivor Series. There is also a running prediction right now that Becky Lynch is going to in some way interfere. That has been kind of a big theory by a lot of people, is that Becky's going to get involved and she's going to beat both of them down, saying if I can't have the spotlight, then no one can. Yeah. Next, we have the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus the WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. I think Daniel's going to win this. Now, let me be clear. I'm not thinking Daniel is going to have an easy time with this. I think he's going to get the shit kicked out of him by Brock Lesnar, much like AJ Styles did last year. Again, I was also really looking forward to AJ Styles with Brock Lesnar too, because honestly, I think AJ could have taken him last year. I think he could easily take him this year, potentially. But I think that in some way, AJ is going to come down to the ring and he's going to beat up Daniel Bryan. He's not going to go after Brock Lesnar because he's not going to be thinking, oh, okay, if I attack Daniel, he wins the match. No, I think he's going to attack Daniel, resulting in Daniel getting a disqualification win over Brock Lesnar. I think that's probably the best way for it to go. Maybe have AJ low blow Daniel, get him back for kicking him in the nuts, and then look at Brock and say, I would have beaten you or some shit like that. We had a kind of really weird segment on Raw recently where Jinder Mahal came back out and said the Beastmaster thing. I'm like, no, don't remind me that Jinder Mahal was champion last year going into Survivor Series, and then thank God they put the belt on AJ. I'm still very angry that they took the championship off of AJ in the fucking first place. Don't remind me that basically they're doing the same thing 2 years in a row. Jinder Mahal is set to face Brock Lesnar. He called himself the Beastmaster, which was really weird. And then AJ won in the UK to not have the shittiest match of all time as a champion versus champion match. And then this year they did the same thing where it was set up to be AJ versus Brock Lesnar 2, which would have been awesome. And then they had Daniel Bryan come in and win the championship. Not that I'm mad. I love Daniel Bryan. But I definitely think that having Daniel win this by DQ would be kind of a cool thing. What does this put us at for the tally really quick before we go into the final match? Raw has Rousey, Bryan, Nakamura. Team SmackDown, AOP. 4-2. My predictions are very one-sided. Again, this is because I have a massive bias to SmackDown Live. And the final match of the night, I think, is going to be the men's 5-on-5 elimination match. Hopefully, this is actually a good match, unlike last year's. I actually made the very distinctive point last year that they kind of fucked up with the way they did their booking in the last two Survivor Series. In 2016, they had the main event be Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, when arguably it should have been the 5-on-5 men's elimination match, which was very good that year. Then, last year, they had the actual very good singles match of Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles be the penultimate match before the 5-on-5 elimination match, which was, let's all be honest, it was hot garbage. Last year's Survivor Series 5-on-5 men's elimination match was hot garbage. No matter which way you look at it, it was hot garbage. Because it was so stupid. It was like Russo era booking of Triple H pedigreeing Kurt Angle so he gets eliminated, and then immediately pedigreeing his brother-in-law Shane McMahon to win the match, and then Braun Strowman attacking Triple H for some reason, which that went fucking nowhere. So that was fantastic. It was a waste of time, and the match could have been a lot better last year. I'm very pissed that they actually put that on last, but I think they're going to do it again this year because they're stupid and they don't see good matches. Or I'm wrong and they're going to put Bryan versus Lesnar on and it's going to be a fucking shitty match. Regardless, on Team SmackDown we have The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Shane McMahon, Samoa Joe, and Rey Mysterio. On Team Raw we have Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley. Oh my god, I said just like Leo Rush. Kill me now. I think we are going to have Team Raw win this one. I think Team Raw is going to get this. Really quick, I got to do my Soul Survivor predictions. There we go. Actually, I fucking massively zoomed out on my thing by accident. Didn't even try to. Alright, so Soul Survivor predictions for Team Raw. I think are going to be Dolph and Drew. I think Asuka. Probably just Asuka, honestly. And then I think... One minute. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. I think... God damn it. I think Team Raw is going to win this one. They've been consistent the last 2 years. Let me just go back and say that Stephanie McMahon's memory is terrible. While, yes, in 2016, Team Raw did technically overall win the pay-per-view, they did not, however, win the 5-on-5 men's elimination match. That went to SmackDown that year. Next year, 2017, Team Raw won overall, and they did win the 5-on-5. I don't think they're going to take away from that this year. I think they're going to have Team Raw win with Dolph and Drew probably being the sole survivors. Maybe potentially even Finn. Dolph is a very, very good guy. He's very good in Survivor Series matches, so I think he could definitely do some good work here. I think Team SmackDown-wise for the women's, Asuka is going to be the sole survivor, and I think the Usos, the New Day, and Sanity are going to be the sole surviving tag teams in the tag team 10-on-10 match. Also, I do want to clarify, I forgot to mention this in the predictions video for NXT TakeOver War Games 2. Johnny Gargano just set a record. He is now the person who has had a match at the most takeover events in NXT history. I believe he has 11 takeover appearances now, which is the most. So yeah, again, to go over my predictions, Ronda Rousey, Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura, Team Raw for the men's 5-on-5, Team SmackDown for both the women's 5-on-5 and the tag team 10-on-10, 5-on-5 thing, whatever. The Authors of Pain and Buddy Murphy. Out of the 8 matches, obviously 7 of them have the interbrand sort of conflict, and I think Team SmackDown is going to win the night overall 4-3. I hope you guys have enjoyed these predictions. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the review. Stay golden. Peace.